The first thing I did after soul transmigrating was forcibly abducting a little. Then I had a wonderful experience of the joys of snake. However, after all, I panicked because I discovered the little female snake was actually the dragon empress who commanded the reincarnated the little female snake. The wounds caused by my rough movement. I am the empress of the I never expected to have my period. Once I recover my cultivation, I will definitely pull out your. Although the little female snake, I could hear her inner thoughts. I was petrified. Turns out this little female snake is and the dignified dragon empress at that. Recalling my forced conquest, cold sweat broke out. Looking at how she looks like she wants to swallow. Once she recovers her strength, I'm afraid I'll be a dead. Just as I was wondering whether to pull her up, a ding suddenly sounded in my counterattack to system binding success. Obtain the ability 100. As long as I give opportunities to the, I will receive 100 times the cult. I was overjoyed. My cheat code is finally here. System prompt bound target. Wrong one. Dragon Empress. Heavily. I suddenly turned, staring straight at Murong Wang at the cave, as if staring at a rare treasure. Murong Wang met my gaze. Her delicate body trembled uncontrolled. As my massive snake body approached, she roared in despair in her heart. This? What else does he want? As a dignified empress, she naturally knew if she suffered that kind of, she would rather kill her. She gritted her teeth, already striking a pose. Who would have thought I wouldn't even give her? I slithered straight past her toward. I heard her thoughts loud and but I've been a pure-hearted single guy for how could a god of war do it a second? Besides, my consciousness hadn't fully. That mess doesn't count as my doing at. I moved rapidly through the digesting the original host's memory. The current priority is to hurry to transform into human. When I returned to the cave entrance, I approached with my mouth full of prey. Murong Wang instinctively curled. She had obviously tried to. Unfortunately, she couldn't move an inch. Catching sight of the fresh meat, her throat twitched slightly. She swallowed her saliva, but she was too proud, refusing to lower her head to seeing her tsundere act. I wanted to tease her. But if this cash cow starves, who would I cry to? I simply dropped a brown bear in front of Murong Wang's eyes were full. Starving, she finally lost to her survival. I will condescend to take one, but once my strength I will surely wash away today's. Then she opened her huge mouth and fiercely tore into the bear. Hearing this unlucky woman's thought, my face was full, eating my food and drinking, yet still thinking about if it wasn't for the system reward, I would have run away. Not long after, system prompts began spamming wild. Congrats, host triggered 100-fold. Obtained dangers. Obtained super. Obtained strength. I quickly pulled up my stat. Over a dozen brand new divine. I was secretly an empress is just eating some bear meat provides. So without hesitation, I threw an elk in front of her again. Murong Wang was rapidly refining the meat, and her injuries were improving visibly. Seeing me come to feed her, she simply dropped her act and started feasting greedy. Hearing the heavenly system prompts, I almost squealed with laughter. For the next 3 days, I became a heartless hunting machine. Most of the prey I brought back went in. Now, Murong Wang's skills were shining. Her size had exploded to new. She even faintly exuded a the faster she recovered, the more After all, I am the ultimate winner reaping the benefits. Through the return, I had already gathered nearly. My combat power had undergone tossing fresh prey in front of Murong Wang. Just as I was about to, the system suddenly prompted. Bound state of mind, intimacy plus divine power synthesis. If intimacy hits 0, my eyes lit up. I quickly merged and synthesized. All successfully obtained spirit grade power. Instantly, my 100-foot snake body expanded. Muscles rippled. My aura was feeling the explosive power. I turned into a streak and slammed hard into a nearby with a thunderous boom. I actually smashed right. Meanwhile, Murong Wang in the cave had accumulated a decent. Her eyes flickered, showing a lonely, arrogant thief of heaven. You cow. So what if you want to wipe out my dream? I have still carved out a path to. Just then, the thunderous explosion outside made her. A terrifying pressure instantly swept. Could it be the heavenly soldiers hunting me? Her whole body tensed up, as if facing a. But looking up, she saw a big, silver-white giant proudly perched upon the rock. How can it be this beast? Murong Wang's pupils constricted. Her eyes were full. She never dreamed that the terrifying commotion was this level of distress is definitely comparable to a spirit. She clearly. I was originally just an ordinary. In just 3 short days, how could I have undergone such a. Suddenly her gaze paused, staring fixedly at the bulging horns. Then it dawned on. So he has Dragon Clan blood hidden. No matter. Let you be smug for a few. Once I restart the Dragon Clan, and crushing you will be like crushing an ant. Thinking of this, she sighed helplessly again. It's just that starting the cultivation requires. My current state is truly tricky. Little did she know, I had heard every word of this plan. I looked at Marong Wang playfully, thinking to myself, looks like to keep farming experience, I'll have to find a way to get this woman being stared at by me. Marong Wang felt a chill in her, cursing inwardly, what are you looking at? Don't think I'm afraid of you just because you broke. Sooner or later, I'll grind you under my feet. I shook my head to think that even in, I still have to work like a slave for. After venting, I turned and headed deep into the. I soon reached the heart of spiritual energy. I inhaled it greedily. Suddenly, a sharp bird cry pierced the sky. A large bird dived toward me like an arrow. I quickly twisted my snake. The giant bird's claw shattered the boulder. My scalp went numb. If that claw hit my, I'd be snapped into several. The strike missed. The giant bird flapped its wings to Ding encountered tier to demon beast. Give its demon core to Marong Wang. To receive a special, the system prompt made my eyes light up. But after seeing my opponent, my heart sank half just from the name. It's a head-on fight is pure I made a split, fleeing rapidly toward a nearby. The snake-hunting bird screeched and pursued relentlessly. Just as I rushed to the edge, it dove again. This time I didn't. At the moment it closed, I suddenly lurched. It missed it and plunged headfirst into the tank. It was instantly trapped. The more frantically the deeper it sank. Soon it couldn't move at all. One immediate, the king of beasts' divine power, under this terrifying pressure, it even forgot to resist. I opened my mouth and bit off its head with a cry. Ding, congratulations. Successfully hunted a tier to reward an indestructible dragon scale. With a thought, I placed it over my 7-inch heart to avoid being backstabbed by that Empress. Then I picked up the bird carcass and, passing by a source of rich, it was a lake with rising white mist, energy turning into a peerless tread. I was so excited, a terrifying aura that made the soul suddenly a water column shot into, instantly collapsing the towering trees. I didn't even dare look, running away frantically. This aura is ridiculous. I can't afford to mess with this right. Bolting all the way back, I couldn't wait to drop the bird carcass. I nudged it with my, signaling Marong Wang to eat. She stared warily at the horror flashed in her eyes. This beast could actually hunt a tier to D and even gave the prey with the demon core to me. She carefully plucked out the but hesitated to swallow. I grumbled inwardly. Just eat the good stuff. Why treat me like a thief? I turned away cold. Seeing me walk away, she finally tilted her head and a moment later she opened. Her injuries were fully healed. She stared at me suspiciously. Did he simply want to heal me? Or was he using me to test? He couldn't possibly want to be a whatever. Time reveals a demon. Hearing her thoughts, I snorted in. I wouldn't even want you if you threw yourself. Bound target. Consumed demon. Intimacy +1. I was speechless. Only +1 for a tier to demon. This Empress is way too guard. Before I could finish, the aura in my body surged. Congrats, host promoted to tier. My size instantly exploded, filled with explosive heavens. He became a tier 1 beast just by. Marong Wang was dumbstruck. By comparison, she looked incredibly tiny now. The corners, watch me charm the scales off you. But her next thought almost made me trip on getting so big. If he tries to force himself, I'm afraid my body would literally. I suddenly reared up my upper butt, glaring at her in disbelief. Are these the kind of wild words a dignified? She didn't back down and a mere spirit seed dares to glare at me. But under the pressure of my side, her posturing and claw bearing actually looked kind of cute. I couldn't be bothered to argue with this soon. I laid down to continue rest. He must be afraid of me, she thought smugly, then secretly made it. His advancement speed is to. I must follow him next time he goes out to see what kind of lucky and after resting I set out from to look after my little I deliberately slowed. Who knew Marong Wang couldn't keep up even while she gritted her teeth in for. Once I return to my peak, I'll definitely find a rope to walk. You actually dared without a word. I immediately, leaving her hundreds of meters behind, running so. Are you rushing to your? She stopped in anger, ready to. Just then, I circled back, looking down at her from above, flicking my tail, signaling for her to get on. You're letting me follow you. Her eyes went. I tapped my tail again and she finally stopped hesitating and quickly crawled onto. Carrying her, I sped, releasing the aura of a tier 1. It instantly attracted prey, along with a violent roar. A tier 1 gorilla swung toward us on. Marong Wang instantly arched her back as if facing a. Before the gorilla could land, I had already opened and pounced head. The gorilla was enraged, swinging its iron fists to. I nimbly twisted my, taking the chance to coil around its thick thigh. I squeezed with all my might. The sound of the gorilla's bones shattering even its eyeballs were about to pop out from the. I used taking several full minutes to finally crush this tier 1 gorilla. The massive corpse collapsed like a small hit. This kid's combat power, Murong Wang's mind was in an, but she acted cold and aloof, both at tier 1, yet he could kill in one move. Not bad, with this strength, I can barely accept him as my hearing her thoughts. I let out a disdain. Little girl, you don't even know. A snake with a system like me is way out of your league. Shushaner, save that for later. I squeezed the gorilla's, tearing it into, signaling the little green snake to eat the demon core. What does this loach want now? Eyes, is it poison? Or did he get this specifically? Murong Wang froze for a ripple of emotions. Is this loach really this? He's probably trying to trick me into Could this be service? Forget it, strengthen my power first. Eventually, she couldn't resist and swallowed it. I rolled my eyes, completely just eat it. Why so much internal? A woman's heart is in crazy girl, ding. Murong Wang consumed a tear. Congrats obtained. God, I was instantly dumb. I looked at my snake body. I don't even have hands. What kind of god of... Forget it. I'll save it to synthesize divine... Afterwards, I easily slayed a tier 1. After Murong Wang swallowed the second, the system's voice rang out. Ding! System reminder. Murong Wang is short 1 tier 2. To successfully advance to a tier 1, I suddenly looked up. My face turned... What 2? Tier 1 needs 1. Tier 2? What kind of consumption? I can't afford to raise her. Meanwhile, Murong Wang finished absorbed her aura standing on top of my head. All after taking these 3, my strength has increased. This loach did a decent. In the future, I might barely hearing her call me loach over and over. I immediately, I'm raising you like a daughter, and you're treating me like a. That's just low. I let out a cold white mist snorted from my nostrils. Fine, no good. I'll have to restrict your demon course. Unknowing, we approached that spiritual altar. Last time I wasn't ranked and couldn't. Now that I've reached tier, it's the perfect time. Such abundant spiritual. If I cultivate here, my progress will surely. Feeling the long lost spiritual, Murong Wang began urging this little loach in her. Better hurry and take me to the place with the most. Hearing the whispering from atop the corners, 1,000 miles. Didn't you say no? And you still call. I'm going to scare the life out of. In the blink of an eye, I swaggered toward. Just as I got the originally calm water surface, it began to churn. Gurgle, gurgle. A terrifying killing intent instantly. Not good. My scalp went numb. I suddenly whipped around, fleeing at full strength. Boom! Just as I turned a water column as thick as a bucket, it slammed precisely into the spot, smashing out a deep close one. My heart pounded. Encountered tier 3 demon beat. While speeding away, I looked only to see a muddy yellow golden toe staring fixedly at me with eyes like carrot. Holy crap! A tier 3 muddy yellow. I was scared out of my wit, running for my life. Boom! Another water column ruthlessly. Intense pain swept through my whole. I rolled on the ground, but still gritted my. Only after running along did I dare to stop and ease the pain. Murong Wang, who was clean, finally regained her face full of. Damn it! Just now, I actually smelled the. Good thing the loach runs fast. Otherwise, I would have died there. A dignified empress, scared stiff by a mere toad. This caused a thick killing intent to ignite. Stinky toad, you just wait. This lady will kill you sooner, or Murong Wang swore an angry oath, wishing she could turn back and. This lady will kill you sooner, or you stinky toad. A dignified and the supreme king of the driven into such a pathetic state by a to Murong Wang. This was an ultimate humiliation. Her hatred instantly surpassed that for the distance. I can't kill the heavenly, but can I kill a mere toad like you? She vowed secret. Hearing her thoughts, I agreed with both hands. Go for it. I look forward to you killing. It's best if this crazy girl can cultivate and take out the toad, so I can sit back and move into that spiritual mansion. After getting far from the I rested for half a day to recover. The gap between tier 1 and tier if that water pillar had hit me, I'd definitely be dead meat. Whatever. Better help the crazy girl boost. Let her go get revenge herself. Having seen the horror of tier, I also urgently want. But with Murong Wang doing the labor for me, who would bother with bitter cultivation? Having made up my massive body immediately sped. Why can't I even find a single tier to demon? Searched for half a. The surroundings were full of low-level demons. Murong Wang was also quite coiling her body in silence to cultivate friends. Then suddenly, a heaven-shaking tiger roar pierced. Wild winds whipped up. This sound felt like directly attacked the soul. A tiger, perfect timing. From the. It shouldn't be tier 3. I was holding back a belly and had no place to vent. I was instantly itching. Murong wrong one, however, instantly abandoning, staring fixedly at in just a few breaths. A pattern tiger dozens of feet long. He was wary of my massive size and didn't attack rashly, but his watchful eyes were full of greed. It's a mountain lord. Oh, this is a tier to demon. Morongwen cried out in alarm, thinking things looked. Encounter tier to demon. Mountain lord detect. Morongwen is short 1 tier to demon. To break through her realm. Host, please work hard. The system prompt rang out. A tier to tiger? Interesting. Even though I'm tier 1, it's not like I can't put up. I quickly coiled my 100-foot upper, staying at peak alert. The two sides stood in a tense stand. Neither dared to make a move. Tier 1 against tier. There's no way to win. Morongwen was anxious. This loach has been a great help to. I can't let him go to him. Her gaze turned fierce. She actually slithered off my butt, crawling forward on the ground, looking for a chance to. I caught it out and immediately grew. This tiger lady isn't even ranked. Why is she meddling? To keep her from throwing her, I had to give up the stand-up and strike first. My form was agile, charging suddenly behind a large tree. The mountain lord thought he saw an. He leapt up, swiping fiercely at my 7-inch heart, but I was faster. As soon as I landed, I leapt. The mountain lord couldn't break in midair. His paw slammed solidly. Boom! The towering tree was snapped in half, collapsing with a good chance. While he was landing and turning to, my tail kicked off the trunk with my massive body slammed into him. The mountain lord's pupils. In his haze, he opened, swinging his right arm, but in the face of my abs, his movements were simply too slow. Die! I roared in my heart. My massive snake body lunged at the mountain, attempting to coil tightly around this tier. The mountain lord leapt, opening his huge maw to me. Although that swipe didn't land, those sharp tigers still instantly tore through my scale. Intense pain swept through, blood gushed out. This was the first time I've been so heavily in. I'm already hurt. So you've got to die. Trading an injury, my eyes turned blood. Ignoring the act, I coiled around him, constantly tightening my. The tiger struggled frantic, turning back to bite at my tail. Unfortunately, he was squeezed. He bit nothing but. I took the chance to lash his crack. The tiger's face, blood sprayed everywhere. Just die for me. I exerted all, snapping his back leg. Then I locked onto his. But he was the tier to king of the forest. Even heavily wounded, his remaining front claws dug deep. Just as we were at a small emerald green snake suddenly darted up. You deserve to die. Morongwen watched. Without hesitation, she lashed her although she wasn't ranked yet. And her lethality, this single became the final straw that broke the camel's back. The tiger finally lost resistance due to suffocation, crashing heavily. Few finally settled. This king of the forest is way harder to deal with. Who knows how much time? The sky had turned. The tiger finally breathed. I slumped onto, gasping for. The wound on my flank was deep. It was a gruesome. This loach could actually go toe-to-toe against a tier to mount, even risking heavy injury to take me others. Bad. He's earned the right to follow. Morongwen looked at me coldly, but was secretly after resting. I forced my upper body up, dragging the tiger's corpse in, signaling her to eat the demon. Morongwen was stunned. Her eyes were full of letting me eat it. This loach, he's so heavily. Shouldn't he be the one who needs the demon core for heal? She shook her head, refusing to eat it. I rolled my eyes like Tiger lady, if you hadn't helped so blindly, I might have gotten a flawless solo kill. At least you have a bit of knowing how to. After pushing it back, seeing that Dawn was all, and seeing my firm attitude. Morongwen finally this kid is actually knowing to leave the good stuff for me. When I return to the peak in the future, I'll surely reward him with countless treasures. Morongwen swallowed the core with infinite determination. I must fight my way back to the 33rd heaven at top speed. Reward me with treasures? Of all things, you learn how to make empty promises. Ding! Morongwen consumed a tier to breaking through to tier 1 demon beast. Host triggers 100-fold return. Following the system prompt, the demonic power inside Morongwen, I also received a massive surge. My injuries healed at a visible speed. My cultivation directly surged to the peak. Just as I was getting ready to adapt, the aura beside me suddenly became not good. Is this deviation? I was horrified, hurrying closer to observe. I saw the demonic power inside Morong. Her face was, it looked extremely, suddenly. She snapped her eyes. Her cold pupils now held a hint. The next second, she pounced like pinning me firmly beneath. Her strength was incredible. What does this crazy girl wanted? I had just absorbed and couldn't control it precisely. Fearing I might shock her to death, I didn't dare resist at all. Before I could react, Morongwen had already tangling herself, rolling across the ground. I knew what she was after. She freaking wants to do. My eyes were full of horror. I wanted to resist, but feared the other party. If I don't resist, my purity is. In the end, as the stronger one, helping the weak. My purity is going to be. Tears fell like rain. Right then, Morongwen gave a seductive smile, slowly closing it. No, don't do this to me. My eyes were full of fear and I wanted to resist, but my body. This is all for her own good. She has deviation. I can't blame her. Besides, it's not necessarily. I frantically brainwashed myself. Last time I was the. This time it's my turn for karma. I kept trying to persuade myself, but Wang didn't stay idle. That intoxicating aroma drifted right into my nose. This is a fatal biological attraction that I lay on the ground like I was feeding on a race, forced to just enjoy it, fully feeling the frustration of having my dignity. Who knows how much time. The wind died down. Wang's eyes gradually clarity as the cultivation, and she curled up on the ground. Her first reaction upon regaining her senses. Another time. This Empress is going to kill you. Ignoring the tearing pain in her body, she wanted to fight me to the death, but when she turned her, she saw me curled up by the tree roots like a little wife who had suffered a shivering. All Wang froze. How is he even more aggrieved than me? Looking at my pathetic state, her full tank of rage instantly dissipated. Clearly, I'm the one who lost. Why does it look like I was the one who rapped? Whatever, I won't argue with this stink. She was silent for a long. Finally, she let out. Just now, I had deviation. If not for his heroic sacrifice, I probably would have exploded. Bottom line, I was the one who forced him. That intimacy just finally helped her drain the chaotic demonic power. Looking at my pitiful, a strange sense of guilt actually. Well, don't be sad. She instinctively flicked her tongue to comfort. Come over. I poked my hissing with hostility. I really can't accept this cycle. That I, a man, had this happen. If word gets out, how am I supposed to serve? Wang slowly slithered forward. Her eyes actually held a hint. That feeling ... was actually. No wonder so many of the dragon clan. I watched her approach, feeling more wrong than this crazy girl was so aggressive the first. Won't she be hitting me with a whip in the future? No, I must find a way to turn the tape and be the one in. Before I could even come up, Wang had already approached. A cool, comfortable surge of demonic power slowly, like she was giving me a post-battle. This woman is actually taking the. I hummed in pure comfort. Whatever, it wasn't her intention after all. This time I've kept my life. She didn't lose much either. But if she dares to demand, I will definitely make her soul scatter. Forget it. I'll let it slide this time. This stinking loach gave me the demon core even. Considering his heart, I'll take this loss. Recalling the intimacy, just Wang actually blushed. In her past life, she stayed pure. Who knew in her second life, she'd do it twice. Fortunately, the deviation has. She is safe and sound, and was surprised to find she had. I have finally reached the rank of a tier 1. This feeling of power is truly. Wang was lost in her newfound. Wait, suddenly. She noticed something was wrong. My bloodline actually advanced just one mating not only purified his messy common snake, but also integrated a trace of this will be a huge help for my future body set. Strange, this thinking just what secrets does he have that I don't. Wang turned her toward me as I was still soft. Her eyes were full of doubt and curiosity. Being able to boost a partner's bloodline, even as the head of 10,000, she found it inconceivable. Sooner or later, I will uncover all of your secrets. She narrowed her eyes and schemed. Rebellious I'm providing for you and raising you, and you still want to strip me of my secret. Crazy girl, I cursed crossly. After doing so much, the favorability didn't even but looking at her delicate features, I also calmed. Actually, my faked crying and grief were just to make her drop her kill. What loss could a male like me? Let's go back to the I still need to stabilize my Wang sent a cold men. I was thinking the same. Just as I would suddenly roar, a violent bear roar rang out, instantly interrupting our move to leave. Wang and I locked eyes, and both looked into the distance, only to see a mother brown bear as bringing a cub the size of a sedan, charging toward us. Coming early isn't as good. A flash of joy crossed my one late stage tier. Perfect for us to practice our tier 1 is just I have the advantage in this fight. Wang was also high on decisively picking the soft target, the cup. Both of us flicked our tongues, entering combat readiness. The mother bear showed no on all four. She charged at us. In her experience, a bear fighting a snake of the is a total stomp. She roared to encourage the cub to attack, having no what kind of terrifying opponents she would. I didn't hesitate, decisively taking the joke. Even a tier 2 tiger died by my. Why would I fear your tier 1 brown bear? Wang and I split into charging toward our respective opponents. I rushed toward the mother, but halfway there, I slammed on the brakes like. Well, my head stopped. My tail carried, whistling toward the mother bear's face. Meanwhile, the cub also charged at Wang, lunging upward, attempting to bite off her head, but didn't expect expect her to pull, making him bite. A mere tier 1 brown bear dares to stand against. I was quite disdainful, but kept my focus entirely. A tail sweep landed solidly. In midair, the mother bear was flying backward, dozens of smashing sideways. The force was, it snapped the tree right in hand. It collapsed with a roar. As expected of a rank demon, the bear has thick skin. She actually didn't die after lying on the ground for dozens of seconds. Meanwhile, the other battlefield was just as the little bear leapt up several meters high, wanting to bite off the green, but because of his lack of combat, she dodged him easily, making me go head-to-head with a bear. Did you really think this was my first hunt? Morongwang snorted inwardly, full of disdain. She had lived for her combat experience was in. How could a rookie bear hope to withstand her? The green snake took the opening her massive mouth, two sharp fangs exposed to the air. A stream of crystal clear, aiming straight for the cub's eye. The venom hit its. The cub felt an intense pain from its, instantly losing its ability, falling to the ground, rolling and howling. My venom! Does it feel? If I didn't hate touching a stinking bear like you, you wouldn't even have tasted my venom. Morongwang snared repeatedly. She is currently very averse to any physical. As the cub fell, the mother bear, just getting back, her eyes nearly roaring like thunder with a rat, wanting to come over, but I was faster. Flying up right in the mother bear's path, slamming my head hard, bam, another solid collision. The mother bear fell, ribs shattered by the broken bones pierced her. At this moment, even breathing normally was a luck. The mother bear let out a cry, only able to watch as Morongwang sank her fangs into the injecting, while she herself had no strength. The next moment, my silver-white snake tail slowly coiled. Suddenly tight bone cracks sounded one. Finally, the mother bear was her bald-sized eyes protruded thick, bleeding from all. A very gruesome, just this little bit. And you dared to bring a cub? You really treated us like textbook practice. I smiled disdain, my tail fully charged with power, landing on the mother bear, disemboweling her to hand over the demon. I picked out a fist-sized demon core. Morongwang's battle had also ended. In just 4 or 5, that cub was completely dead. A pity this bear hadn't reached tier 1 yet. It hadn't condensed a D. Otherwise, I could have boosted my strength. I wrapped my tail around the and tossed it straight to the greens. Is he giving it to me again? Morongwang thought I would swallow it. She didn't expect me to. She caught the core, swallowing it. Her beautiful eyes looking at me with a complicated ding. Morongwang's favorability toward the whole current favorability 5 points. Level up by 3. Not bad at all. I'm marveling at this. Morongwang consumes a tier 1 rewarding host with skill all-to-range. Morongwang's demonic power increase. Host synchronized to tier 1 demon beat. Just 1 more core to reach the peak. Then I can successfully break through to just 1 demon core short. That's not far. I pull up the system panel. Found that besides King of Beasts being a the rest are just useless mortal grade. System. Fuse all these mortal grade techniques for me. Let's see if I can pull something good. Congrats host. Synthesis obtain spirit grade blazing venom. The next instant, a sudden itch grows in my mouth. Then a pair of venomous fangs manifest. Pythons aren't supposed to. Now a pair of tusks has grown. They look like claws on, but much sharper and massive. System explains these fangs pack a flame like anyone at the same tier is dead on. The look is just a bit. Just grew a dragon horn on. Now my mouth is evolving snake fan. Hiss, I control the fan and blast out a stream. The venom hits, instantly turning the wild grass to reeking with a foul stench. So toxic. Didn't expect this venom. I'm secretly not far away. The coiled Morongwang snaps her eyes, staring intently at the conspicuous. What a python growing fangs. And even a section of a dragon horn. It's evolving toward becoming a flood. She's lived for 10 and never heard of evolving. Without absorbing high, her heart is deeply. I notice her shocked gaze and toss my head triumph. Little lady, isn't my power enough to charm you to death? Stinky Loach dared to stare at me like that again, and I'll gouge out those stinking eyeballs of yours. Feeling my intense gaze, Morongwang shifts her eyes in Xian, but can't help glancing at my lower half. Her face suddenly This freak girl still wants to gouge. One day I'll put you in your place. I give a heavy snort in my mouth and turn my head away. Just as we're about to, the ground suddenly trembles. Rumble a dark shadow like a heavy tank comes charging from the distance at extremes, carrying a massive Morongwang, and I turn at the alertness. It's an even more massive brown bear. The family of that mother and cub has come. My heart skips a beat. Just a brown bear. I can handle it easily. Morongwang talks big while faking encounter tier 2 demon beast. Hearing the system prompt, I'm already at the peak of tier. Just looking for a tier 2 to prep. My battle intent. Bring it on then. Become my nourishment. Gale whines howl. A killing intent sweeps. The brown bear rear. Its scar-covered body is pure intimate. When it sees the two corpses on the ground, especially seeing the cubs trapped, its aura instantly turns burst. My child, you all must die. It beats its chest and sound waves as deafening as a soul attack. Next second, it drops to all, charging at me like a cannonball. I didn't choose to clash head-on, but quickly stayed low, using the trees to maneuver good chance, right as it roars and leaps high, attempting to use its massive to squash me into a meat. I instantly see through its meathead. Little guy, is that all the brain you have? Bang, the bear lands hard, smashing a huge but only crushing fin. My tail had already whipped away the moment it lands. My tongue strikes back like lightning, directly completing a death. Just as the bear reacts, wildly flailing its arms, trying to shake me off. It hurts the raw strength of a tear to be. It gives my snake body a tearing sense. But my python constriction power, I tighten my muscles, instantly closing the tiny gap it just pried. They call it brawling, but actually, it's just me performing a one. The bear has no power to resist. When I said head to, I meant comparing strength in this. With the first coil complete, the deal is I speed up the constrict before it's even fully tight. The bear's body is already popping with. Let's see how powerful this venom real. I open my bloody mole. A pair of glinting sink deep into the bear. Crystalline venom is injected in just a few minutes. Venom spreads like lava inside him, even scorching the flesh black. The bear looks despairingly at it, eyes full of resentment, finally stopping its struggle. A family should stay together. Better to reunite on the road to the confirming it's dead as I release my hold, panting heavily. Then I pick out the demon and toss it to Morong Wang nearby, giving it to me again. Why isn't this stinky loach eating a? Did he suddenly find a con? Morong Wang is very surprised. Thick-skinned as she is, she feels a bit embarrassed and pushes. I stand my ground and push the cord back in front of her. Morong Wang looks at the cord, gulps hard, and fakes her cold. This is because you gave it. I never said I won't. If you won't eat it yourself, you can't blame me. With that, she finally swallows. Listening to her tsundere inner, I chuckle to myself, needing an excuse. Just truly a hopeless tsundere. Morong Wang's favorability 1. Current favorability, trading a tier 2 core for the Empress's. Single point of fate is a pretty good. I stop overthinking, focus my mind to break through. Ding Morong Wang refines the demon core. 100x rebate begins. A massive surge of blood energy floods. My body swells to 30 or 40. My aura skyrockets. Only stopping once I hit mid-tier 2. Already mid-tier 2? Is the 100x rebate only? I humble brag with a complaint. On the other side, Morong Wang open. I'm finally late stage tier 1. The day I crush this stinky loach, but the next second, she feels the even more terrified and vast tier 2 aura coming from. She turns to stop. Wait, how did he break through again? This keeps. When will I ever have my day? See me lying lazily on the ground. He gets even more. Damn it, I'm desperately eating cores to cult. Yet I'm not as fast as him. A spark of inspiration hits her, and she instantly finds the perfect. It must be that my cultivation technique yeah, that must be it. Little does she know, I just piggybacking off her with one, even leeching off her cultivation, except the current technique is still just promoting cultivation and the body. That's definitely it. It has to be. Morong Wang repeats it twice. To steady her own Dao heart, she, a grand empress of, is actually slower than a python from a backwater lower. She'd be mocked to death if word got. Then keep working hard, dragon. Grind that cultivation for me. Go, go, go. I'm laughing my head off. This is literally her whipping herself. I don't even have to urge. Morong Wang is completely clueless, looking at me with eyes full of resentment. I'll surpass you sooner or later. Stinky loach, just as we're resting. A strange surge of spiritual energy spreading 100 miles in an instant. What's that aura? Morong Wang and I snap our heads. This spiritual energy feels so dense you can't see through it. Could a treasure be surfacing? Looks like it's over by the spirit. My eyes reacting instant. Must be it. We have to seize that. Morong Wang's eyes flash with endless. I don't waste work. With a sweep of my I wrap her up and blast toward the spirit. You stinky loach. Morong Wang is dangled in midair, shaking wide, gritting her teeth in rage. You could have at least. I'll make you taste this treatment one day. Save your energy. You'll need it for the fight later. I sprint through the dense forest without looking. Giant trees along the way become mere. 10 minutes later, we face the waterfall like spiritual and pushing against the current. No wonder that Jasper Toad didn't hunt us down. It was guarding a spirit treasure about to be born. Morong Wang realizes the truth. Her guard instantly goes to the map. I see. I sneer inwardly, but I'm tier 2 now. Toad, I'm definitely taking your treasure today. Detected, natural dragon blood fruit. Detected, tier 3 demon beast. Right after the system prompt, a terrifying pressure like crashing slams down from the spirit. This is the absolute deterrent of a ordinary low-tier beasts nearby would have their bones crushed in. I endured it thanks to my raw power. But Morong Wang on my back lets out a pained cry, pressed tightly against my unable to move. Seeing her unable to take it, without a second thought, I directly erupt with my crashing head-on against the tier 3 toad's pressure. A direct collision. Two invisible forces, my tier 2 pressure colliding in mid. Though I can't overpower the, I successfully shield Morong Wang from the lethal. This pressure, it's at least tier 3. The gap is 2. Morong Wang feels a surge of. Then she glances at, thinking Sunderly, I'll let that tail grab instant slide, since you used your pressure to help me stay standing. Soon we approach the spirit altar's perimeter. Before we can get close, several water jets thick erupt from the spirit altar. Infused with a massive amount, bang, several sky-blocking trees are hit. Instantly snapped and collapsed. The roar is deafening. Close one, those water jets are lethal. I keep swaying my body, managing to dodge the deadly attack. Third time approaching the altar. This tier 3 beast's offense is still but I'm not backing, charging forward with reckless. I'm going to kill you sooner or later. I curse inwardly. The full view of the altar is on a giant stone sits a 7 or 8 meter tall toad, dark green and covered in. The toad's mouth snaps open, firing a series of even fast and more lethal water jets. Morong Wang and I dare not face a tier 3 beast head on. We can't win in a direct. I need to find a chance. Morong Wang has zero moral burden. Seeing we can't win, her first thought is to play. She leaps up, jumping off my, diving into the forest to wait. Hearing her thoughts, I understand perfect. I'll take the aggro up for. Well, she strikes from the. That's the right way to play a 2-0-1. I erupt with my full tier to mid state, dodging all attacks with extreme splash. I finally reach the shore, diving straight in as a python. I'm like a fish in water here. A tier 3 beat. If all you can do is spit water, then don't blame me for styling on you. I think disdainful. Just as I let my guard, the Jasper Toad 100 lets out a weird, cold sneak. Croak low. Deep croak sends shockwaves through the water. The clear pond instantly becomes incredible, making even a slight movement extreme. Simultaneously, a foul. Not good. It's a trap. My scales stand on end like I'm in an. This toad weakened the water jets on purpose to lure me into the. The pond has long been saturated with. No wonder nothing else lives in this spirit pond. The venom mixed in the water is incredible. In an instant, a layer of white mist rises from my scale. The surrounding water boils violently. Hey, my snake skin is actually. I'm surprised to massive demonic power automatically coating, perfectly resisting the venom's invasion. The skin that was vulnerable to tiger claw has become an absolute seeing me unable to move. The Jasper Toad is it lured me into the water, specifically for a sitting duck, but the next second, the smile freezes on its despite the billowing white mist and boiling bubbles. I'm completely croak. The toad stands dazed. The lethal toxin it relies on is useless against my scales. Hiss, I don't hide my killing intent at all. My eyes are cold as ice. If my facial muscles, I'd be grinning wickedly right now. I undulate my bolstering myself with massive, gaining a huge boost to strength, agility, and hiss, my eyes are full of aggression. My ambition is fully exposed now. Croak, seeing the toxin fail against a tier to beat. The Jasper Toad stops waiting and launches a pro-act. Its ugly limbs push off with explode. Its mountain-like body instantly curls into a ball, moving through the water with zero resistance. Charging like a hyper-flexible tank, so fast and agile, my pupils shrink. I roar and whip. My snake smashing it hard against the Jasper Toad is like a high-speed spinning top, colliding violently with my thick tail. Boom, the terrifying force instantly clears the surrounding water. In a single breath, a vacuum zone is blasted open, so strong, I'm sent flying dozens of meters by the slamming hard into the underwater. Luckily, no serious damage. That toad is completely unfazed. It doesn't even need to turning back into a spinning top to again, I'm freaking out. The opponent is incredible. Even leaving after images, I dodge to the side with all boom, though my upper body narrowly my lower half takes a direct hit, getting smashed deep into the mossy. I let out a scream. Heart-wrenching pain surged. If I hadn't moved, that hit would have crushed my blood instantly dies. Everything in sight turns up. The tables have turned. I can only flee frantically. At this moment, on a giant tree by Murong suppresses her aura to the perfectly hidden among the leaves. Why hasn't he come out? I've been lying in wait here for 8, watching the terrifying waves exploding. She's incredibly. It's normal for a tier 2 to lose to just get out of the water, knowing full well the disadvantage. If I insist on fighting to the, she's even prepared to abandon me. I will never risk my own life. Hearing her inner thought, I almost cough. What? You're just lurking on the shore. I thought you were underwater looking for an. If I'd known, would I have stayed down there getting beat? Knowing her plan, I don't hesitate any. Enduring the agony, I charge straight for Croak trying to run. The Jasper toad bites hard at my heel, refusing to stop until I'm splash. I finally break the surface. Crawling onto the shore soaking wet, without stopping for a sec, I bolt toward the depth. The instant my tail touches the ground, the Jasper toad also bursts from, cloaked in a spray of water, slamming onto the shore like a mount. Boom, the earth trembles violently. In that split second, an emerald green snake launches, turning into a streak of, heading straight for the giant toads. Murong makes her move. She's lightning fast. Taking it by surprise, she bites, squelch her fangs pierce the toad's skin. But a tier 3 beast reaction is just as a few drops, a long tongue shoots from the toad's mouth, wrapping around Murong like a whip, then hurling her high into the sky. Murong instantly loses, thrown dozens of meters into zip. The Jasper toad doesn't hesitate. The moment she's airborne, it leaps up too. Eyes locked on the green, opening its huge maw, intending to swallow her. Am I really going to die here? Murong is gripped by that tongue, hot as a The massive strength makes it impossible to resist. She slowly closes, her heart filled with resentment. Croak the toad's eyes are full of brute. Its tongue retracts, ready to make this ambushed snake pay the price. But at the critical moment, I let out a hysteric, having flickered to the toad's side unknown. I instantly binding it tight. You ugly beast. 100% of my strength that constricting sharp pain shoots to its brain. The toad screams. Its grip on Murong tongue instinctively loosens, escaping the giant maw just in time. Murong as she falls, she doesn't flee, but uses the momentum, baring her fangs to bite the toad again. Just paralyze it for 1 minute, and that's enough for me to crush. Unknowingly, I've become a trusted comrade in her heart. The toad is completely the true power of a tier 3 beast finally, with a heaven-shaking croak. It kicks off with all its massive body launches like a missile, leaping 100 meters, even soaring past the giant trees. It intends to use the extreme inertia of the to smash us both to just as we go air. Murong small bamboo viper side prevents her from holding on. She's flown away by the terrified. Luckily she lands in the spirit uninjured. While I stay latched onto the toads, I wanted to go for, but the sudden launch forced me to settle for the next best thing, constricting its fat stomach frantically. The toad's short limbs can't reach me. It can only watch as I cling like a getting tighter and the toad channels its accelerating toward the ground. You animal, I scream in terror. I've never flown this high into lifetime, but to the toad, this scream sounds like a blatant provocation. Its wheel-sized eyes are bloodshot. It wants to end this quick. Boom, a snake and a toad slam into dirt and grass fly, blown back by the violent shockwave. I roar inwardly. The inertia nearly shattered my internal, but I grip its sunken belly with barely surviving that lethal pursuit. Just as Murong is about to launch for another ambush, the toad gives no room to breathe. It leaps back into the air the moment, but this time I'm ready. The weightlessness made my brain stall early, but now I won't waste this chance. Even the tip of my tail is just to weld myself onto my maw open. Fangs sink into the toad's flesh. The hooked fangs make them hard to pull out. Unless I retract them, my time to taste my blazing venom. High in the air, the Jasper toad leaps again, reaching a new height, and at this moment, I sneer inwardly, driving my fangs deep into effortlessly, piercing that still like hide. Snake fangs can retract just like a cow. Their curved shape prevents them from falling out during a stroke, and when retracted, they are perfectly controlled by the snake. Flexible yet incredible, Croak the toad has no neck. It's hard to look down at its own, but it clearly feels fangs entering deep into its body. My size is massive, and so are my fangs. It's impossible not. Then a cold liquid is injected into its. The Jasper toad only feels its go cold for a moment. The venom merges with the blood, circulating through the veins, first bringing a freezing sense. It feels its whole body completely then it tries to channel demonic power to resist that liquid and force it out of the. At this very, the toad is about to hit the ground. It's frozen. Will cause it to take heavy from this jump. But unfortunately, that venom quickly turns scorching hot. Almost the entire toad regained its with a heavy thud. It landed steadily. The Jasper toad croaking and thinking its own demonic power had successfully. The next second, its expression suddenly, its body tempered, as if inside its very a cluster of flames had a searing, burning sensation flooded it. Its internal organs felt like they were being croaked. Massive amounts of gas seemed to build up, likely a byproduct of the Within a mere minute, the Jasper toad experienced a hellish sight. It was in sheer its blood vessels, as if they were about to burst. Straining with the Jasper toad tried to return to the spirit pond, immobilized its full power, attempting one more leap. If it could land safely in the spirit pond, believing the pond would heal all its wounds. Unfortunately, the Jasper toad's thoughts became sluggish. Extremely, its eyes bulged. A wave of exhaustion spread from its brain. It even felt the urge to just rest. If one could see inside its body, they would discover something marvelous. Once the venom entered the host, due to the toad's high cultivation, its heart rate its blood flow was incredible. In just a few breaths, the toxin had spread to attacking every system simultaneously. At first, the venom was freezing like an ice. Then, the crystal clear white venom instantly turned, clinging to the vessel walls like mold, seeping into the organ. When the demonic it couldn't purge the toxin it was completely. Then a massive amount of corroding the toad's blood vessels and launching the assault from the intense pain. Instantly snapped the drowsy toad away. But alas, because of the Jasper toad couldn't move. It collapsed instantly. It let out a thunder, a mix of pain and fury and resentment. It even seemed to be begging, though the immense pain wouldn't take its life immediately. It was enough to render the toad defensive, forcing it to surrender its life to the. Is my venom really the system products are always top? I marvel inwardly, never expected that 10 or 20 liters could make a tier 3 beast suffer like this. Of course, marveling aside, I didn't stop I began coiling around its windpipe, aiming for a swift kill, to put an end to the because of the I was nearly and lacked much strength. Is its toxin that powerful? Clearly a python, yet it evolved venom fang. Not just fang, but the toxicity is all. I'm getting more and more curious about this stinky. Morongwon watched the whole scene from the seeing everything. What more could she say? The thing was already. There was no need for her, even with such potent venom. The Jasper toad managed to hang on for before finally dying amidst too much blood, hard to strangle. The poor toad couldn't understand even in how on earth a python grew. Fangs with such ridiculously strong, it's simply snakes are supposed to be physical brawlers. It was fine that its strength was terrifying, since he knew the opponent was strong. But is this venom even legal? The Jasper toad died without he fell to the fangs of a mere python. Whether I'm cheating or not, I know. Turn off the hacks. It's not until the toad's heart stopped did I finally uncoil from it. If we were this, it would have been a 4 or 5. But since it took 40 or 50, still it's pretty broken. It can't be purged. If you're hit, you're basically dead. It's just a matter of how long it takes to finally dead. This toad kept avoiding me. What a cautious little reflecting on the battle. I carefully calculate the detail and the combat experience. I noticed during it started with water jets, then moved to toxic, but it stubbornly refused to use its insane physical prowess. This toad was way too cautious. Even when it turned into, it was incredibly, as a giant python, there was no way to coil around a high-speed meat, not until I retreated step and was completely cornered on the shore. Did the toad finally come out? If not for the surprise venom fan, which allowed me to turn the otherwise, everything was going according to the toad's plan. That fight was a near-death experience. Where's the core? Hurry up and let Morong restore my energy and see if it can boost me to tier 3. After fighting, I'm about to die. I exhaled a thick cloud of utterly spent. Just wait to tie. A tier 3 beast is truly it must have a trace of bloodline power. Perhaps from tier 3 on, they all possess precious bloodlines. Those without a blood enter tier 1 by pure luck. Even tier 2 isn't impossible, but reaching tier 3 is never. Once is luck, but the third time is. Before long, I dug out and tossed it directly to the green without a moment's hesitation. Very decent. Giving the core to me again? Morongwon caught the core, but didn't rush to swallow. Instead, she stood despite being given so many. The other party hadn't eaten. She was almost but this wasn't right. Why was he so good to her? For a moment, she was deeply, yet found it completely. It made her feel that something was fishy. but she couldn't put her finger on what on earth is going on. Murong Wang's expression was, her eyes were filled with conflict, gratitude, confusion, and bewilderment. I signaled her to hurry up and swallow. Seeing this, Murong Wang stopped and gulped it down. This is a, why hesitate? He gave it to me voluntarily. Besides, I've been watching him, and he didn't tamper with it. Let's just consider it his way of a. Murong Wang recalled those two impulsive moments. She thinks this is his way of atoning for his That's what she tells, but deep down, what she truly only Murong Wang knows. Ding detected another shift in Murong Wang's favorability by 5 points. Murong Wang's favorability toward host is 11 points. That much. What is wrong with this freak girl? Did she finally find a... I'm genuinely surprised. Never expected. To gain a whole 5 points of favor. Could it be that all my silent efforts before finally paid, making her realize how good probably. With the Tier 3 demon, a massive amount of demonic is about to be integrated into Murong, but at this moment, her cultivation technique kicked, refining the demonic power in her snake body. In pure demonic Chen is expelled, leaving behind only elite level. This refined power, compared to raw power absorbed, is far more potent. As a member of absorbing spiritual, converts it into demonic power via the... It functions like spiritual, but aligns better with the operation of blood. After much of the power, Murong Wang's cultivation rises, becoming a Tier 2 early stage. A grand Tier 3 demon only managed to bring her up by a small. Meanwhile, my stamina is rapid, but I haven't broken through to Tier 2. It wasn't just the feedback from her technique. Most was used to mend my injuries and exhaust. Still, I'm not too far from Tier 2 late stage. System detect. Murong Wang consumed a demon core provide 100x rebate, rewarding host with spirit grade tech. Hardened skills allows one to channel demonic to transform regular skin into an even tougher armor. Damage is mitigated by consuming demonic. Simply put, it's using mana to tank. If I had this in the water, I wouldn't have been bullied so hard by that Jasper. I'm at a loss for this technique came as only a mortal not exactly a prize. Just as we're about to take a dip in a strange phenomenon, spiritual light erupts from the alt, radiating brill, sending out countless beams of intense light. It looks like a nuclear-powered light bulb is hidden in the Ding system detects the birth of a. The treasure is a If a demon beast it can greatly enhance their bloodline. Those without a bloodline can purify one. Those with one can ignore species and upgrade their bloodline. System detects Murong Wang's bloodline. Host, please head to the altar and give it to Murong Wang. Hearing this, I stop thinking entirely and dive into the spirit altar without. Though I regret it the second the light is so blinding I can't. On the shore, Murong Wang is still watching the phenomenon, afraid to jump into the. But seeing me dive in, she grits her teeth and follows me into the deep pond. The pond is at least 100 meters. The light is radiating from the very. The toad used to stay in the shallow air. Even that shallow was a good 50 or 60 meters. But the deeper I go, the more bone. It's freezing. Even I'm having a hard time resisting the spiritual energy. It seems to have liquid, but I can't tell for sure. Since I've only sniffed small amounts of spirit and never actively used a technique, even if it is spirit, I won't take any. I'll leave it all for Murong Wang. The bottom was originally devoid of any, but under this radiance, I still can't see a thing. No difference to bright is the same as to dark. What's the point? The dark green water is turned pure white. That shows how intense the radiance is. Suddenly, I sense a powerful aura. A fruit brimming with rich life force. Therefore, I follow the scent through the pond. There can't be anything because the Jasper dared to stay in the shallow, which means there was nothing in the depths that I open my mouth just to be safe. I still spit out some, letting it spread with as a precaution. The toad did the same thing after this dragon blood fruit. My goodness, I don't know how long passed, but I finally tracked down the dragon. It's a fruit about the size of its body is pure white. In a pure white shape, it actually looks like a coiled up dragon. Similar to that one from a certain like Shendu hanging on a wall. I gently pick up the dragon, ready to return to the surface. The moment the fruit is detached, the light vanishes. I look down. Below is like an abyss. Bottomless. Well, it's just can't see a thing. Looking up, I can see the shimmering surface. Seeing the light. The glare was too much, so I just kept my eye navigating purely by sensing my way, so the light vanishing doesn't affect me much. Just as I float out of the deep, I see Murong Wang waiting in the shallows. It's too cold down. I can't take it. This bamboo viper's source bloodline is too honestly, it doesn't even have a trace of. I'm relying entirely on my own Murong Wang is frantic, complaining about her own blood. She really despises it. Seeing her still hating on her own, not knowing what this treasure is yet, I take the head-sized dragon blood fruit and toss it. Hurry up and eat this dragon. Just as we were about to rest, I suddenly sensed several auras in the distance, heading this way rapidly. They clearly noticed the tier 3 pressure and are coming to get a piece of the. I immediately get cautious again and shove the dragon blood fruit into the. Morongwang doesn't know why I'm being so rough. She swallows the fruit caught off guard. That head-sized fruit, shaped like a true dragon, it instantly turns into a soft, the pure white outer skin, turns into a milk-like, revealing the blood-red flesh inside. Instantly, Morongwang's temperature spikes. The dragon blood fruit is being absorbed within seconds. The fruit is completely absorbed, all of it becoming nourishment for this dragon successfully entering my bloodline. It's Morongwang lets out a pained hiss. The pain of evolution is like being. This is an evolution that leads, not a standard step-by-step process. Absorbing essence blood 1 tier higher to evolve. Massive energy floods the green snake. In a flash, Morongwang's soft skin visibly transforms into light armor, encircling her body like steel. Her bamboo viper appearance begins, looking just like a flood, but it hadn't fully become a flood dragon. Instead, it's a Jiao snake. A flood dragon is the final stage before a Jiao, while a Jiao snake is the form just before a snake. To put it simply, as a Jiao snake, a small nub of flesh sprouted on its head and 2 whiskers appeared near the. They aren't long and look tiny compared to. Then the green snake's body expanded, faintly rivaling my own white python. The original green snake skin shed in, revealing the tender skin beneath. Still in a snake, don't get any. Within seconds, it became incredibly tough. Even the tongue began shifting toward the evolution is fine. In such a short time, Morongwang finished her evolution. Now she's eager to feel the changes in her bloodline, ignoring everything else. The system Morongwang completed her bloodline. Immediate 100-fold rebate. System. An emotionless voice echoed in my mind. In an instant, before the silver-white giant python's body, a short Jiao horn had already grown. Another transformation, just like a unicorn's horn. It's obvious. The next evolution will sprout branches, but this time, it's just a single mane. It wasn't just the horn evolved. I shed that silver-white snake skin, and a layer of solid scales grew back in mo. Only the dragon scale over my heart. A pair of whiskers erupted from nostrils flared, eyes enlarged. Facial features became no longer looking like a mere, formally beginning the transformation with every breath. White mist swirled out. The features almost looked human. Ding! Congrats, host, on officially becoming a Yanchang Jiao, a top-tier. Next, the host can move toward the flood dragon. Looking forward to the host's the snake skin. Right now, I am no longer but a white dragon. Even if it's the lowest grade Jiao, it's still a member of the flood. The horn isn't fully developed. The dragon whiskers aren't full. The limbs are just tiny nubs that can be ignored for now. The biggest boost is the defensive power and the changes to the Jiao head, evidence symbolizing my evolution into. No way. How did he evolve to? I was clearly the one who ate the. What kind of trick did this stinking loach use to evolve? Could this stinking loach be the reincarnation of some power, carrying some bloodline evolution? Suddenly, a thought rose in Morongwang's regarding that white dragon. A bold theory about the Yunch. If explained this, then it all makes sense. To keep his demonic power pure, he refused to eat other tribes' and didn't eat the dragon because he has an even more power to upgrade his. That initial white python seemed ordinary, but it contained a trace of top-tier dragon. Under the guidance of this reincarnated, using his cultivation, he could completely upgrade his blood. So that's how it is. I underestimated this thinking loach beef. Not bad. Now you're qualified to be my bodyguard. Morongwang wildly hallucinated a logical. Now everything before makes sense. His aura is clearly that of a top, not far from the flood dragon form. Intense curiosity filled her heart. She really wanted exactly which powerhouse's second light. Morongwang's behavior became a bit more, but her mouth didn't let up at all. Still stubborn as ever. Whatever, I'll change how to avoid a slip of the tongue later, once he can actually speak. The idea of him being a fellow took root in Morongwang's mind, and she was absolute. Her attitude shifted quietly in that instant. It wasn't just curiosity anymore, but a bit more genuine interest. Glad you know your place. Be polite to me from now on. It's not too late to behave. Hearing what she was thinking, I felt pretty smug. It's great that I didn't have to. And this crazy girl made up her own excuse. Talk about a thoughtful just like a loyal, understanding everything. Of course, one dragon blood fruit doesn't actually. For example, Morongwang only went from a green bamboo snake to a half, but the 100-fold rebate. Let me evolve directly from a white dragon python. This kind of spirit is already a rare find in the. It seems like these evolutions took a long, but in reality, not much. Just a matter of a few. Just as Morongwang Wang and were still soaking the powerful feeling of bloodline promotion. Countless figures rapidly appeared from the including second and third rank. First rank ones were too many to sweeping in like a tidal, a chaotic and pungent scent drifted. I knew the enemies had a flying in the sky, running on every kind of led by tigers, bears, and followed by all sorts wolves, eagles, and apes in packs. Enemies are here. Marong Wang and I locked up, rubbing our paws, eager to go. Once the enemies drew, both Marong Wang didn't show a hint of. Instead, we were exceptional, brimming with battle, dying to have a visceral, bone-crushing fight immediately. Bloodline promotion doesn't raise your, but it definitely boosts. Vitality becomes richer, and strength, defense, attack, agility, and so on all rise accordingly. Whoa! All these different beats finally came into view. They made all sorts of noise, showing off their fears pre-battle. The moment we clashed, Marong Wang and I both opened our mouths, spraying a massive. Before the melee even started, several second-rank beasts fell under the venom attack. Venom splashed, corroding them instantly upon impact. Billowing white mist rose up, spiraling into. These beasts collapsed on the ground, clutching their eyes, and what's strange is that so many beasts could actually form to team up against us to kings of beasts. I didn't waste work. I directly released my pressure domain. In an instant, at least 100 first-rank beasts were pinned down. The pressure of a king of mixed with the bloodline suppression of a second, neither first nor second rank could withstand it. Because I am a joust snake with the power. You dare covet my opportunities, then all of you become nourishment for my path to supremacy. Marong once said, sounding it's like the sight of blood just excites. Her speed was lightning with just one tail sweep. Several first-rank beasts were killed, skulls cracked open, brains splattered. What you're facing now is one of the few joust snakes in the lower rank. Tremble, you low-blooded trash. I sneered inwardly. I reckon a joust snake is already a top-tier. For some reason, there's this strange sense of husband and wife. Even our combat moves are perfect. The only difference is when my tail sweeps through 3 or 4 second-rank beasts, and specifically a black bear and 2 wild boars with not a single one could last one. A single sweep left them ground, completely stripped. Right then, a flock of giant birds flew in, constantly letting out piercing screeches. These damn birds think they can do not on my watch. I let out a cold snort, my eyes full of pure disdain. The next moment, I actually leapt, charging straight for those eagles. In the past, it was always the, but today, it's me slaughtering them at will. Talk about a satisfying. That's right, this mid-air leap is a specific skill gained from evolving. With this skill, I can manage brief flight and aerial. I haven't had time to test the exact. If you weren't circling in the sky, you wouldn't stand a chance against a joust. As the eagle beasts frantically flapped, but they were nowhere near as fast as a white. A quick dash resulted in an effortless massacre. Second-rank beasts were easily but third ranks fared no better. This is the raw power of the joust. When your bloodline is, it's not just a small gap in. So what if they're third rank? So what if they're a rank higher than? I first clammed my jaws onto, swallowing it whole into my massive mouth. Then I jerked my head to a sudden, while my tail whipped around with a sonic boom. The speed was so, the force so that these third rank and second rank birds had no. In an instant, over a dozen birds plummeted, crashing into stone dead. Some had their necks snapped, others were chewed twice in my mouth, resulting in shattered bones, which pierced their internal. Some were simply hit by the absolute and literally died of fright. You're only holding your, thinking you can temporarily suppress this. You're nothing but trash with low grade. On the ground, Marong Wang had also been as a lone snake. It was tough fending off so many attacking beasts, but her hardened scales kept her from getting injured. Instead, they triggered her The green snake leapt up, constricting several beasts and snapping their heads, landing as the air filled with a pungent blood erupted like a wall, staining the earth. Just as Marong Wang was turning the tide alone, I returned to the ground. Should I push this crazy girl a bit to see if it triggers more? The moment that thought surfaced, I shook my head to drive it away, scolding myself I'm a joust snake with a system. Why let my lady take life threatening, even if that's. I quickly rejoined the fray. Marong Wang was already holding the upper hand, let alone after I joined the fight. Racking up kills was beyond easy. Even if our attack methods were limited, our skills were incredibly thick. Measly second and third rank couldn't hope to break our defense. All of you, in just over half, and every beast that came was dead. Not a single one left. If you don't have this, don't covet things you shouldn't have. Marong Wang snorted coldly. Regarding these corpses, she couldn't even be bothered. She just went about about harvesting, planning to consume them. Strange. What made all these different beasts unite to target the two of us? If they were the same it would be easy to, as a family act, but this isn't right. All sorts of beasts gap to strike at us simultaneously. There's definitely something. Just when Murong Wang and I thought things were finally over, and we could enjoy a period of rapid cultivation, an exceptionally powerful aura hand over the trash. A deep green turtle appeared before us, exuding a destructive aura. It was abnormal. Crab, this turtle is high tier. I thought to myself, the bad feeling came from the fact that it had clearly refined its vocal. Being able to speak meant it was at least. Murong Wang was equally shocked. She didn't expect a rank for beast to show up. So the reason it didn't and only arrived is simply because the beast host has encountered a rank 5 beast. Low-grade spirit. I originally thought it was just rank, just like Murong Wang thought. But everything changed once the systems. We can't fight this. There's no way to win. After the system warned that the Mystic Iron Tortoise was a I was internally. My first thought was to run. Once the idea of fleeing I immediately chose to wrap my tail to take her with me, and to my surprise, the green Zhao struggled, refusing to run. How could this queen be scared off by a turtle? I cannot back this spiritual altar. I absolutely cannot hand. Murong Wang's resolve was incredibly. She refused to let the spiritual fall into someone, even if she had to die for it. Because the opponent was all. If she just gave it up, her chances of taking it back later would. Maybe she could get it back one day. But there's no need to seek death now. Why is this crazy girl so stubborn at a time like? Didn't we agree to be cautious, and more? Hearing her inner thoughts, I wore a complicated feeling. I tried to forcibly coil, wanting to retreat with her, but my second attempt was also rejected. Why is this stinking loach acting like a? Didn't he look pretty brave before? Murong Wang's eyes were locked. The hill-sized Mystic Iron Tortoise slowly approaching from a distance. The ground trembled violently with like a localized Interesting, you're not running. Hand over the treasure, and I might spare your lives. The Mystic Iron Tortoise it sensed the rich bloodlines within these two snakes. It even felt a hint of instinct, but its raw strength was it had no real reason to. It just wanted us to hand over the before finishing the slaughter. Otherwise, it might damage the impossible. Murong Wang thought, hissing loudly, full of warning. This is a damn rank 5. I was worried sick, but she just wouldn't leave. The worst part was not being it's killing me, you dare resist. The giant tortoise was amused by the gall. Hearing the defiance in her hiss, it immediately withdrew its mercy. Without further hesitation, demonic power erupted, stirring up 1,000, sweeping through the dense forest. The gale howled, to the point where Murong Wang could bear. You're a damn rank 1 beast. Why are you picking a fight with a rank 5? Move, since that green snake wouldn't budge. I couldn't leave either. I gripped her tail with every. Finally, I steeled my and put some real muscle. Murong Wang's body was finally yanked. It hurts, stinking low. Let go of this queen. Murong Wang struggled, wanting to fight that rank 5 beast to the death. Maybe she didn't understand the Mystic Iron Tortoise, mistaking it for a rank, thinking she and I together could stand. Or maybe she hadn't fully let go of her Empress pride and willing to abandon the precious land she. For various reasons, Murong Wang let her emotions cloud her judgment. The Mystic Iron Tortoise was massive, and its strength was beyond compare. But its speed was honestly nothing. However, its attack range, which effectively solved its speed, a divine ability shaped like a overflowing with demonic power. Boom! Before it, fallen leaves on the ground were blown away. Murong Wang and I were right in the epicenter. Crap! I grit my teeth, letting out a sigh, accelerating. But unfortunately, we were both struck simultaneously. That massive ability wasn't slow at its land into the earth. We were sent flying hundreds of meters, snapping countless trees along, relying entirely on our blood. A rank 5 beast is actually this. I spat out, realizing my internal organs had been rattled. Every step I felt like enduring a piercing heart. However, the dragon scale reward that protects my was faintly glowing, clearly negating a massive amount. Looking at Murong Wang, her situation was extreme, spitting blood. Her scales were shattered across. Not only the broken scales were driven into her, causing secondary. She looked like a countless cracks lined with bright red blood. Even a slight movement revealed glimpses of organs and bone. Murong Wang's pupils dilated. He never expected to be so. The Mystic Iron Tortoise moved, but its demonic power circulated she couldn't even utter a word now. Let's go, I grit my teeth, forcing myself to grabbing Marongwang with my tail, using my last bit of strength to flee. Where we went didn't matter. Getting away from that big turtle was in the distance. The mystic iron tortoise's attention was it didn't bother tracking us at all, because it could one was clearly a ranked beast, and the other just a rank one. Their bloodlines were in, but there was no way they'd survive this spiritual pond water. From now on, this is my territory. The tortoise's focus was fully captured by the it couldn't care less about those hey, a rank 2 and a rank 1. No matter how fast they evolve, especially since it had used a solid 6, a rank 5 slapping and a rank 1. Who would believe they survived? The tortoise looked at the pond and, if I'm not mistaken, this pond itself too bad I've been cultivating like and rarely left home. If not for that occurrence, I might never have discovered this pond in my. After saying this, it slowly submerged into this extremely as its massive body sank. A large amount of pond water was when it finally settled. The mystic iron tortoise, those beasts that had already the coreless rank 2 and 3 beasts, most of the rank for beasts were killed by him when he broke through. Now there's a gap in the rank for pop. The highest level around was though it didn't catch the tortoise's eye. In its view, the spiritual pond in front was the tortoise naturally hated. Such a treasure land was perfect for it. Far away, we successfully escaped to it. Only we didn't return to our but kept heading deeper into the don't die yet, I'm going to save you. I was panting heavily, feeling completely exhausted. The pain was don't be afraid. I'll find a way to. I don't know how long until the starlight filled the sky. And the crescent moon illuminated I felt the snake's life force on my back. Growing weaker, I scanned the surround to make sure that rank 5 beast had. Only then did I carefully laid Marongwang. Her Jiao snake body was twisted, covered in countless. The blood had all, but through the hard scabs, you could still see the flesh organs and white bone. Her eyes were barely breathing. She had already fallen into a. I carefully checked her faint heartbeat. Only then did I breathe. It wasn't that I didn't want to. I was just terrified of that rank. If it had we'd be gunners. My demonic power should be able to. At least it'll stabilize you. Ignoring the sharp pain from my own orc, I found a spot to make my remaining demonic power flowed into her very gently, very cautious. This was my first time using power to heal. Before reaching, demonic power can't leave, but it can be transferred through physical. Injecting power through a slow-flowing stream of we entered through an acupoint on the green, diving into her blood. Beasts aren't like humans with natural. While some humans are born, beasts don't even get the chance for block. On the flip, beast bodies are incredible. They don't need to. They just need to eat to get strong. But overall, it's still not as efficient. What's the use of being a tank? Being able to hit back is the power circulated through her vest. Whenever it reached an injured, that white demonic power dove in, starting to repair the damage. I could see the flesh knitting back, leaving behind external wounds. Internal ones are Marongwang's organs were severely damaged. Displacement is a small. They'd shift back after a few days, but the cracks all over her, making the surface heal. Healing the inside is incredible. She needs a long recovery period. Luckily, the power in my body isn't. It's pure power refined through a cultivation. Power brought by the evolution of the flood. Naturally, it's extra. This won't do. The recovery is to. I have to feed her a few drops. This crazy girl is actually just a few days after getting back to, and she's beaten into this sorry state. I kept sighing inwardly, my eyes filled with pity. Once the surface of her flesh finished, I began preparing to feed her the essence. I grit my teeth. Demonic power surged, forcing its way toward the 7-inch. My massive heart felt the pressure, accelerating the blood flow. But under that immense pressure, a few drops of dark red, glowing essence were actually forced. Just a few drops, 3. I can't spare any more. Only 3 drops, and I'm gagged as if I'd suffered some massive trauma. 3 drops of fresh blood seeped from the system. I quickly moved the position of 2 Marongwang's lips. As they slowly dripped, the essence blood fell directly on. Before she could even try, the essence blood merged into her. 3 drops. If I don't advance quickly soon, I'll have to live another just to nourish these 3 drops back. I let out a bitter laugh, feeling quite. Essence blood recovers faster during cultivation. But with Marongwang's condition, if I didn't, she'd be stuck recovering for years. For Jiao snakes, or rather, the naturally have long life. A few years really isn't. As a Jiao snake, my lifespan has already. Of course, that's the lifespan granted. It has nothing to do with my demons are deep. Wild beasts are. They shouldn't be lumped to. Just as Marongwang consumed those 3 drops. Before long, a faint glow surfaced on her body. It was white. It seems her internal technique was triggered by the and started circulating. Meanwhile, the essence blood beginning to mend her injury. First, the internal organs were healed from the then the broken bones started realigning and restoring themselves to the 3 drops were soon exhausted. Though her various injuries were about alright, she won't die now. As long as I'm exhausted, feeling her heartbeat grow stronger. In rhythmic, I finally breathed I sprawled lip. Demonic power my body was in sharp pain and the backlash of losing essence, a tiredness like being complete. Gradually, my eyes began to, my consciousness grew, but inadvertent. The king of all beasts ability, releasing an invisible pressure, protecting us right in this. We both fell unconscious. Our auras were complete. Those with high cultivation and could easily sense our aura. There was nothing to be done about. But with the pressure active, it could effectively keep low rank driven far away, making them to afraid. Am I dead or alive? Was I even injured at all? Why does that fight feel like a dream? But the bloodline boost is I don't know how much time. Donghua had already slowed. Looking at her healed body, she couldn't help. Nearby, I was woken up by her constant self-questioning. I slowly opened. My flicking tongue had vanished. It still hurts like my organs haven't fully settled back into. It's that kind of pain, the kind that's neither here nor there, which is the most. She finally woke up. Even though I haven't been awake that long, made this queen wait a long time. Donghua thought self-righteously, this crazy girl. Why can't she remember even a bit of was my essence blood? No way. Next time I have to make sure I perform it right. I scoffed twice in my head. Seriously, you can't just do the work in. Just as I was complaining in turn, Donghua gaze actually turned. I have to admit, this stinking loach has helped this queen. I've already detected it. The traces left in the scent of his demonic power and essence. Even though I absorbed, the aura still remains. But this queen is still grateful to you, little loach. While you spared no effort to mend my wound, I will remember this favor. My own demonic power. How could I possibly not distinguish yours from which is yours and which? Donghua suddenly became quite. She was deeply grateful, but the expression on her face remained. Ding. System detects a change in Donghua state. Favorability increased. Donghua current favorability toward the host is 21. Holy moly! This crazy girl actually found her. Won't winning her over be just a? Does that mean things will get steamy soon? I was shocked. I never expect that after this whole surviving death would double the score. Turns out playing nice normally is used. Only being there when there's a real can get you what you want. Logical, very logical. Just as I was about to get up and Donghua vibe suddenly took a since this queen wasn't and the injuries were real, then I must go back and reclaim this. I'll go regardless of only for the sake of that little loach. The spiritual pond we worked was easily stolen by that stinking turtle. I need to vent daring to injure me so heavily. That stinking turtle this queen will never just swallow this. Donghua conviction, a fire of rage burned in her eye. She glanced back at me, still lying on, then turned and walked the other way without following the scent of the path. She was determined to take back that Donghua believed that the goddess of luck would always. No, wait, this stupid is going back to seek death again. Rank 1 versus rank 5. Has she lost? Damn it, I struggled to get up, wanting to go, but the next second, the sharp pain from my internal organ made me gasp for air, and I collapsed back. Too much pain. Thought I was stuck on the ground, falling flat, making a heavy sound. This noise caught Donghua attention. She turned her head. A hint of softness appeared on her She stopped hesitating on the spot. There's a chance. My eyes lit up. I immediately tapped into my rolling around like some kind of hiss. I kept letting out raspy sounds, my throat making pain noises. Does it hurt that much? Does that mean this queen has to stay? And a trace of helplessness flashed in She turned back. In the end, soft-heartedness triumphed over her rage and desire for revenge. Oh yeah, this crazy girl isn't going off to her death anymore. I kept snickering wickedly, feeling extreme. Not only did I stop a snake from seeking, but this was also proof, evidence of our feelings heating up. I really can't do. Donghua noticed that once I stopped writhing and making. Instead, I went still and stared straight. My gaze was sincere, bold, and why not? Why is he staring at? Donghua gulped hard. As they locked up, she was the one who yielded, turning her head away, yet there was no hint of only a bit of and some small curiosity. Ding, system detects a change in Donghua favorability in buy for points. Donghua favorability toward the host is now the system's voice caught me off guard. I was shocked once again. I didn't expect a simple stare down to net for what exactly is going. Shinjitsu wash Itsumo hit. There is only one truth. which is that a small flame can eat once it's actually lit. But without a spark, it's hard to heat things up. After some rigorous I arrived at a very large. What is this thinking loach looking at? I'll gouge his eyes out sooner. For some reason, Morong wasn't angry in the slightest. She let out a dainty acting very. Hearing this, I awkwardly shifted my bet. The system's voice is just too entice. I thought if I looked a bit, I could make the favorability go. I didn't. That I get a threat to have my talk about ungrateful. Fine, I won't. Gouging my eyes. No way. I huffed twice. Resting on the ground with a sulky the demonic power in my body gently untangling my jumbled after healing Morong. I was too exhausted to worrying about my now that I've caught my naturally it's time to fix my organs out of place. Moving them back isn't it's not like I'm so I'd put it off. Speaking of which, that dragon scale reward from truly taking a rank 5 beast flat without it practically saved my little. Should this queen go hunting for him? Get some monster cores to help his By the way, does he even at this stage? While I was busy healing, Morong Wang's hesitant voice drifted over. He's debating whether to go out and go quickly. You go hunt. Give me the core. Then I'll give it back to you. Automatic transmission, baby. The image of an automatic car pop thinking that Morong Wang is basically an automatic now. She can move on her own. Never mind, that stinking loach's gaze earlier was weird. I'm not going. I'll just stay here and make sure nothing. As for my own injury, Morong Wang had checked them long ago. They aren't actually a couple of days of lying, but for some reason, seeing me in pain. She couldn't help but go. She stayed, but that was the extent. She wouldn't bring herself to do any. Hearing her give up on the idea. My forehead was covered. I'm speechless. Fine. No automatic for you then. Even Bruce doesn't use automatic transmission. I snorted coldly in my saying nothing more, just focusing on mending my wounds. Stars shifted second by second. After 2 days, I finally finished nursing my during these 2 I thought about a lot of things. All in all, reclaiming the spiritual, just not right man. And so, a white Jiao snake butcher appeared in the dense ding. Morong Wang consumed a core provided by reward. Host gains the strength. Ding. Morong Wang consumed a core provided by reward. Host gains the power. Ding. Morong Wang consumed a core provided by reward. Host gains. Once my wounds were fully, I turned into a butcher, unleashing a frantic slaughter in the forest. Whether rank 1 or ranked beast, none could escape death. Rank 3 beasts were few, extremely rare. In fact, I didn't see any of the rank 3 south that you rank 4 south were out of the not a single trace. Ding, Morong Wang's realm reached mid-rank 2. System begins 100-fold rebate. 100-fold rebate complete. Congrats host on becoming a mid-rank 3. After days of continuous, the beast population in the forest, dozens of rank 1 core plus 20 to 30 rank 2 core just barely pushed me to mid-rank 3. Morong Wang also finally reached a mid-stage. Her strength was more than doubled. With high-grade bloodline and cultivation, she could at least challenge higher rank, maybe even fight a rank 5. But I'm no fool. When I have plenty of time to grow in the why rush into a fight like a headless chick? Let's cultivate for at least wait until rank 4 before picking fight. If possible, better to wait for rank 5 to reincarnate. In my second life, I have to be. That was my plan. But Morong Wang's plan was different. You could even say it was the polar opposite. This queen doesn't have time for slow cold. Speed is the only priority. With these rapid gains late, I'll go kill that stinking turtle once I'm rank 3. Once I have the spiritual, my cultivation will surely skyrocket. Morong Wang was different, always worrying about enemies from beyond. She didn't have the luxury of time. She had to cultivate the strong in the shortest time possible to complete her revenge and return to the peak. This peak wasn't just strength, it was influence and status. Is this girl a snake or a tiger? Why the rush when you've got me? I led Morong Wang through the forest, aimlessly, searching for those terrified, fleeing. Just then, I suddenly remembered I hadn't merged my. I had dozens of them now. But too few were actually, most were like a eunuch in a brothel. Totally pointless, opened the main system panel. I commanded, waking up the system. No sooner a blue electronic screen appeared. Name Su Jinlong. Species Yanzhang Zhao. Rank, top, divine ability, king of blazing poison, equipment, dragon scale. So many I wasn't paying attention, and I've accumulated so I can't even use half. Aside from king of all beasts, just merge everything else. Let's see what we get with all this. Can I fuse something good this time? Looking at that long list of divine, I can't even be bothered to look twice. The only thing I want to— what kind of good stuff I'll get? System is fusing divine. Congratulations, host, on obtain 9 Hells Soul Sealing. One time use 9 Hells Soul Seal. A killing array from ancient. Its complete form can slay, but currently it is the lowest tier. Once the array, it can slay all monsters within the 5th. Talk about perfect. 9 Hells Soul Sealing. Sounds badass. Just right for killing that old turtle and taking back the— I am overjoyed. Though the killing array is single, letting me use it once is already fantastic. Time to head to the spirit altar. What do you mean that? Right now, go get revenge. I howl at the top of itching to fly to the spirit altar. What is this stinky load so excited? What's wrong with him now? Could it be that reaching rank 3 has driven him crazy? Morongwang looks on in disbelief. Her eyes are filled with— she watches the excitement on my face, feeling that surge of pure joy. Even though I know the green snake can't hear me, I still chuckle inwardly as we head. Then I turn around on the spot and rush toward the spirit. Despite my speed is legitimately fast. Hey, why are you running? That's the direction of the— does this kid think he can fight just because he broke? Seeing the direction I'm— Morongwang feels a faint she thinks that being a rank 2 monster, she is already— and since I'm a rank 3 monster, victory is silly bird. If it weren't for this, we'd have to lay low for at least a month. Anyway, first we seize the spirit, let this tiger woman soak and cold while I go out hunting, eating monster core, absorbing spiritual. Won't my cultivation speed just skyrocket? Just imagine, I can't stop the excitement. This is just to open 24 hours. No days off, while the poor worker dragon knows absolutely nothing. She only knows that she's about to have another— here they come again. Last time you were lucky to escape my— are you here to surrender this time? Before even getting close, from 1,000 meters, the black iron turtle already sensed those yet familiar— he speaks with total— joining him is surely the wisest choice. Of course, that's just what the turtle thinks. He definitely planning to keep those to high bloodline snakes as penned up to serve as his own nourished life. Before even Morongwang starts howling, her battle spirit, she can't suppress her temper at feeling that hostile aura. The previously calm black iron turtle, his face is ridden with impatience. What are you doing? Get back. Seeing the green snake about to— I grab her and pull her. Seeing this move, the black iron turtle is back. He doesn't strike immediately. Seems those 2 snakes have grown rank 3 and rank 2. But no need to panic because he is a powerful rank. If we're not fighting, are you chickening out? Morongwang is yanked back. Her eyes— white mist constantly vents from her. When she wanted to come, I stopped her. Now that I've brought her here, I'm chickening out on the spot. What kind of nonsense? Ha ha ha. 2 little ants. Do you really think rank 3 and can challenge me? I don't even need much strength to easily slaughter you both. The black iron naturally sensed Morongwang's killing and saw my restraining action. The rank 2 is still provoked, while the rank 3 has all— truly a newborn— when did I chicken? I just want a no damage speedrun. Hearing the green snakes in turn, I give a disdainful smile. I'm in no rush at all, but Morongwang is totally— if you won't go, then I'll fight alone. This spirit altar, why should that stinky turtle enjoy it? Her heart is burning with rage. She can no longer suppress her— a total 9 Hells Soul Sealing. Just as Morongwang breaks free from my grip, ready to leap up and fight that stinky turtle to the death, a streak of light flashes. Seeing her rush to action, I decide to stop hiding. I shout inwardly. A circular array disc appears before the restricted killing array with a sharp hiss. I pour my monster power into it with hum. The massive noise makes our ears ring. Then the array disc rapidly growing to the size of a water vat, covered in strange, mysterious runes and symbols, interlocking and laid totally in cracker crisp shattering sound rings. The array disc instantly turning into countless fragments, scattering in all. Is that an array? Where did he get that? Morongwang's movements are cut short by this stunned the moment the disc appears. She blinks her huge eyes. In total she never expected to see an array. Low-level arrays wouldn't be refined into— what is this thing? Flashy enough, but ultimately harmless. The black iron turtle has never seen such— at first his eyes full of curiosity about what— but as it shattered into pieces, his curiosity vanished. Wow, how— my eyebrows— I didn't expect him to under-rest from the disc cracking until now. It's only been a few seconds. In this very instant, the world turns— what was once a clear under a blazing is now covered in thundering and flash. Another treasure is surfaced. The black iron turtle mistaking this for the omen of a spirit, but in the next countless glowing blue runes connect. Between between heaven and an aura of intense pressure and annihilation. My eyes go, trying to memorize the look of it might be a long time before I see something this good again. An ancient kill. Wang is struck, crying out repeatedly, and she can feel the ancient and timeless aura within it. Who on earth is? No time to look at the killing. She turns her head, staring fixate, trying to see right through me, but I ignore her. What the hell is going? The black iron turtle is right. Just now he sent a terrifying aura locking onto him. It felt like an existence at a height he couldn't reach even in 10 lifetimes. Was moving to strike him down. Just who is it? The black iron turtle is in. His eyes are his massive body spins in circles, searching the surrounding. He finds no one there. In an instant, layers of dark clouds emerge in the sky again. Shadows swirl within them. An aura of destruction flows as if between heaven and 100,000 celestial soldiers had appeared. No, not celestial soldiers. These are ghost generals from the countless ghostly figures manifest. The runes between heaven and earth flow. The aura of death. A terrifying, world-ending pressure. Bang, the black iron turtle is choked by the massive weight forces him flat against, unable to. Right now, this stinky turtle can't even, leaving only a pair of lively, countless pitch black chains appeared in the sky. One end linked to the first, the other linked to the underworld. Black smoke billows constantly from extremely thick. For a moment, every living being within this all prostrate them, showing their submission, not even daring to lift their die. A voice like a judge's sentence rings, instantly piercing, echoing, continue. A phantom hovers between heaven and like a massive, holding the ledger of, grasping a aiming it toward the big turtle. With a finger point, endless black mist sprays, racing straight toward the black. In a flash, the black mist hits the, entering right through his, burrowing into his. The black iron turtle feels immense pain, coming from deep within his, as if his soul were being torn. 9 hell's soul sealing, just as the name, it is an ancient killing array that devours. Within seconds, the black iron turtle's eyes go dull. Not another word leaves his mouth. In the next, he slowly closes those lighthouse like dead for good. A large amount of black mist vanishing with the wind, returning to heaven. This killing array and went just as once the black iron turtle's soul was. A breeze seems to blow through the various sky phenomena crumble, scattered by a single, turning to ash, as if they had never existed. From activating the disc into scarcely a minute or two, if it weren't for the black iron, massive corpse lying right before me and Wang, I wouldn't believe that such a killing array could exist. An ancient kill, terrifyingly powerful. My throat tight. I can't help but swallow. At this moment, I crave cultivation, so I turn my hungry, desire-filled toward the green snake beside me. Desire for cultivation. Who is this white snake really? To even possess an ancient kill? I don't know the first thing about him. This big brother who reincarnated, just how many more tricks does he have that I don't know about? Wang is beyond shocked. Her mind is a dead silence. She just wants to know who I am, neglecting my blatant and fixated. No, from today on, I need to get on his good side. When I fight my way back to the 33rd, having an extra helper will be great. Wang's eyes flicker with her mind is racing. She wants to build a good. I can clearly whip out ancient killing her. I'm definitely not just reborn. I must be a powerhouse who maybe even stronger than her at my peak. Since she didn't even have the ability to her rebirth was just a fluke. When I recover my cultivation, I'll definitely be a massive help to her. Besides, my attitude toward her is pretty good. If she takes the initiative, this relationship will definitely, especially, she knows I'm a reincarnated. Well, she thinks I don't know she's reborn. By treating me well with an ignorant attitude, naturally, she can greatly boost her image in my eyes. The dragon Empress is truly the brain of it. It works so well. She's having her internal brains. Little does she know I've clear as day. Ho ho, take to get on my good side. She's gone into autopilot. I don't even have to do anything. To be honest, I am genuinely curious what a dragon, without realizing it, the once pure and gentlemanly me, has been tainted by the lecherous nature of having a little. Isn't that perfectly normal? I don't smoke. I don't drink. So what if I'm a bit pervy? Wang is oblivious to even her attitude has become proactive. Whatever, stop thinking about that. Let's see if that stinky turtle has any, whether he wants it or not. I must push the goods onto him first. Let him use them. A great idea pops into Wang. She slithers toward the corpse with a determined. Luckily, the 9 hells soul only ate the soul and didn't destroy the turtle. So the monster core and flesh, this massive surge of blood, just one sniff, and I'm intoxicated. Turtles are already plus this is the body of a rank 5. It's going to be insane. Just getting close to the turtle. An intoxicated look appears on my face. I really want to swallow it all. Too bad it's huge. Hard to gulp down. If I force it, it'll definitely burst my... This black iron turtle's mom. Give it to him with him around. At least I won't be in life threatening. If even he is defeated, I'll have zero chance of survival. Squeeze out the cultivation resource. I won't be short on resources in the future anyway. My mind is full of lust for that flesh. While Marong Wang is busy playing mind games, full of little schemes, she keenly notices my longing gaze. She proactively steps, circling the area. A cold killing intent slowly reaching in all directions. She's going to protect me, even if my progression is at this flesh and core from to rank should at least push a rank 3 to rank 4. This massive energy is no joke. It's just as Marong Wang is about to close her eyes to scan the surrounding aura. I slither over and nudging her with my head, gesture toward the black iron signaling her to eat. Wasn't she craving it just now? I saw her drool practically leaking out. Why is he offering it to me now? Marong Wang is struck with surprise. It was her first time seeing me show a lot, yet I still didn't eat. Looking back, the sight before her leaves her speech totally frozen on the once massive black iron turtle had been butchered into countless pieces. Flesh separated, even the internal organs were prepped for me. The giant turtle shell was tossed aside, save for some other use later. This white snake actually helped by tearing that turtle apart. Why is he being so good? This time, Marong Wang's name for me is no nor little loach, but white snake. Her eyes are full of left momentarily, tongue-tied ding. System detects a change in Marong Wang's favorability in 5 points more. Marong Wang's favorability toward the host is 30. I love that. 15, a full 15. I'm shocked too. Didn't think just carving up a meal would make her heart flutter like this. As a rank 3 monster, I have the ability to project I used monster power blades to dice up the number. Perhaps he means for me to eat with. Forget it. I don't need it. Better to let him eat. Marong Wang sighs inwardly, shaking her head. Coming up with another scenario, she declined my invitation and turned away, no longer looking at the delicious, though the scent of blood reaching her nose seems exceptionally tempting. How could she not want a bite? Gulp, a clear sound of swallowing. Seeing her drool while refusing, I proactively bring over, placing it right in, signaling her to swallow it. Little lady, my gentlemanly ways will surely charm you. Don't fall for me to fat. I haven't had enough. I'm in a great mood. This crazy girl found her conscience. She knows how to. This is wonderful. This makes things so. I clearly wanted him to eat it. Marong Wang's voice is hesitant, very indie. Looking up and meeting my bright, sincere gaze, she finally stopped suppressing her appetite, snatching the meat and opening her mouth wide to. Wait, is this not very ladylike? I need to mind my image a bit. After swallowing a piece, Marong Wang actually starts caring, perhaps thinking that as a she should radiate a feminine glow. His eye pretend not to hear. While actually blooming with joy, I guide her with my tail, leading her to where the turtles, letting her feast to her heart. I did try to decline, but he insisted I eat. There's even a hint of grievance in her voice, as if I had done something wrong. Whatever, he made me eat this. I'll just have to reluctantly eat this crude meat. Fine. Marong Wang swallows, still holding her, very arrogant. Though her tone is incomparably tuned, she sees everything I do for her and takes it too hard, finally eating. So slow, I finally breathe a sigh of. After finishing this turtle, my physical body will surely grow. As for that rank 5 core, no question, eating it means rank for 4. Right then, the rustling sound of leaves echoes. Over 100 monsters emerge, including over 80 rank 1 monsters, a dozen or so rank 2 or 3 rank 3 monsters, nothing higher than that. Flyers in the sky, runners, everything is there. Seemingly the black iron turtles form, unsure of their intention. I go on, narrowing, ready for battle. Strange, that phenomenon. We weren't the only ones who saw. Why aren't they scared at all? I'm quite confused. But I don't fear these 100+ monsters. I'm a rank 3 monster now, going toe-to-toe with rank 4. Among these, there isn't even a single. This would be too easy, like bullying babe. A woo suddenly. All the monsters prostrate them, making sounds of submission. In tigers lie on the exposed, showing their most vulnerable, demonstrating their loyalty. Various eagles and spreading their wings. When birds lose the sky, their combat power drops by 80%. All sorts of monsters using their racial custom to express their Seeing this, I understand. They saw me one-shot the turtle and came to pay respects to the new. But should I take these lackeys in? I fall into deep. It's a bit of a tough call. But after some, I choose to accept these underlings because their monsters won't really provide to me or Marong Wang. Having these lackeys makes it easier to control this whole. If I start, I might turn the whole forest again. I'm not afraid, but even an elephant hates. I maintain a dignified, while secretly feeling smug, giving a slight, exhaling a breath full. My hiss carries no hostility. The signal for accepting them. Cuckoo, scree scree. The new king has they are momentarily. All the monsters are relieved. They don't have from being hunted. They don't know about arrays but they know the black iron turtle was killed by me and the green. Back then, they could barely breathe, let alone struggle. Submission is purely for survival. Cultivation is hard. I've become the boss. Does this mean I'm the ruler of this sector? As a first-time boss, I'm a bit overexcited. Before I can think, all sorts of items are pushed forward, piled together, including plenty of century-old, various jewelry and gems of every color. Is this tribute for me? Very good. Thoughtful I nod with a satisfied, thinking these kids are quite sensitive. They really know how to, but I didn't take it all, only picking out some herbs. Taking only what, leaving the rest to win over their heart. Oh, look at how merciful that white snake is. After taking a few choice herbs, he signaled them to take the rest back. All the monsters grew even. The current great king is a good. Hey, follow this great king. And as long as you'll at least have a bite, I am beaming with, like a young general in his prime. Just as I was about to do to get familiar with, a voice came from behind. Give ... give the monster. Morong Wang's facial expression was as cold and lofty as a. Yet she let out a very poorly. She stuffed, thinking to herself with great satisfaction that she couldn't even speak. Still trying to give it. Seeing her leave the core and touched first, I couldn't be bothered to argue. I took the core and brought it to her mouth, nodding for her to open up. Is he going to personally feed me? What on earth is going on in my head? Damn it, if you won't eat it, I'll eat it myself. Morong Wang was stunned for a second. Then heaven knows what she imagined. She indignantly swallowed the core in one. You crazy girl, you have the nerve to just looking at you. I know your thoughts aren't exact. I smack my expression. I don't even dare to snakes all tangled up together. That's a real yet she actually feels shy. Wait, I'm still just a rank 2 monster. This is a rank 5 monster. Oh no, I'm going to burst. When she finally pulled her brain out of its and prepared to circulate her cultivation, she finally realized this fatal the monster power contained in her is massive and potent. In an instant, Morong Wang's internal technique attempting to devour that massive surge to turn it into nourishment for her, but that power was simply to over. Morong Wang was rolling on the ground from the green snake turned into her skin was bright red like a. This is seeing this, I'm startled. No time for my monster power slowly seeped through her vest, beginning to circulate with it, soothing the frantic rank 5 energy, turning that rampaging and violent monster power into gentle nourishment. The core still held the black iron turtles, but luckily, under my soothing, that beaten dog turned into a Now I'll guide her through cultivation, letting this crazy girl absorb as much as possible. If she doesn't, my own power goes, guiding the energy within Morong Wang. It began to circulate along the way. Vast amounts of power were absorbed. Her cultivation climbed step, mid-rank 2, late rank 2, peak rank 2, early mid-rank 3, late rank 3. I'm at rank 3. Not knowing how much time, Morong Wang cried out inwardly. She was incredibly. That rank 5 core almost killed her. But it truly allowed her to be a late rank 3 month before she could even steady. Beside her, I also began emitting surges of rank 4. It's still rising. What kind of monster is he? Just which powerhouses reincarnate? Morong Wang's excitement didn't last long before being crushed by though she was curious. In her heart, a strong competitive urge rose up as my aura continued to climb. Late rank 3, early rank 4, mid-rank. Finally, it only stopped at late rank. My aura is much more robust. One look and you know I'm terrifying. I instinctively tried to speak, but was blocked by the transverse bone. Looks like I can start refining that bone. Once that's refined, I'll be able to speak. So I don't die of boredom. I calculate carefully. Finally, my day has come. Not being able to talk to anyone feels way too suffocating. He's at rank. He didn't even consume a core or yet his speed is faster than mine. Could he be a practitioner of using slaughter? Every time he kills a beast, he absorbs their blood and intent to break. Morong Wang is puzzled and starts fantasizing again. Every breakthrough happens right after a kill, as if he's absorbed something. But she can guarantee that I clearly didn't swallow, yet I broke through anyway. It must be the slaughter death. Right. This tiger girl is overthinking everything. Wait, I feel like I can take flight. My body feels light, lighter than ever before. With a single thought, the monster power in my body the next second, my massive cloud dome actually managed to lift off in it's only a short flight. But it's not bad at all. This will, maybe at rank 5 or 6, soaring through the sky. I keep shouting in my head, holy crap, my first time. It's a bit hard to get used. The physical sensation is like walking, but the visual sensation is totally, I need more practice. Flying at rank 4. He really must be a reincarnated, if not, how could a rank 4 learn to fly? Usually, it takes at least what natural talent Wang understands. This way, she can fly when she reaches, translating to human that's roughly the golden course. When I landed, I made a new now I can fly briefly and refine my throat bone. Seems ranks 1 to 3 is one made by that logic. Ranks 4 to 6 must be the next main, and so on. Ranks 7 to 9 being another. Let's refine the bone first. See if I can speak soon. As for that crazy girl, hurry up and after landing, I took Wang back to the spirit. I didn't absorb. Instead, I focused on using monster power to grind down, just so I can finally talk. Human lower realm stage should be hidden spirit, pillar base, and first chance. Each divided into early, mid, and late. Each phase corresponds to a monster rank. Rank 3 should be pillar base. Only then can one fly briefly. As is Snake, one isn't born to having to wait until rank 4. But if only I were still in my dragon form. No cultivation. I could ride the clouds from birth and soar the skies. Wang watched me land and head straight for the spirit altar. She actually felt a bit with her dragon pride. It was truly hard to crawling around on the ground like a mad whatever. This lady is going to. I'm not far from rank for now. This lady is determined to step in. Wang grits her teeth. Her eyes are filled with fur. She leaps up, diving deep into this, frantically absorbing the abundance, beginning her cult, attempting a rapid breakthrough. Seeing this, I'm quite satisfied. Not bad. Truly a natural-born work. I haven't even made, and she's already whipping herself into high. It's like buying yourself a coffee to work or paying out of pocket to upgrade your. Of course, it's not that. If you must blame someone, anyway, it's not my fault. I should also speed up the refining of my. Well, she still can't talk. I'll hurry up and get a few to annoy her and keep her guessing. I give a wicked grin and begin to gather the monster going all out. Progress is naturally one would try to grind the bone before rank, but the bone is hard and the monster power anything less than rank for power. My monster core is now the monster power is as vast as a great lake with not that it matters much yet. I don't know any spells right now. The monster race relies on physical dominance, no rush for magic. Reloading off Wang is actually when the 100 monsters saw the two of us enter the spirit altar. They finally scattered in a huge, leaving only us. In the spirit altar, each days and the stars shift. Quite a few more days pass. I finally learned how to peek. I can finally talk. Not speaking for I struggled to get the words out. The words I spoke were very. What was that note? Who currently is awakened by a voice. She didn't hear, but it sounded like someone saying they can wait, about this little loach is he must have refined his throat bone and started speaking. Wang thinks it over. That is indeed, it's quite logical. I turn my head, giving the green snake beside me along. Is this little loach greeting me? How surprisingly polite. Wang raises an, but she doesn't speak. This is only as an empress. How could it possibly be the one? She huffs a smug little note in her, feeling quite pleased. He's fairly sensitive. At least this little loach note on the surface. Wang tilt, refusing to look down, acting very, while her inner monologue is as soon. She lets out a dainty, very satisfied. Guys, you won't believe this. That's what I'm thinking to myself. I didn't say it out. My name is Su Jinlong. Hello, I pretend not to hear her inner thought and go on with my self-introduction. Su Jinlong, I'll remember that. But to me, you're still just a little low. Wang gives a cold, aloof nod, signaling that she understands. Her internal tone remains that same. She lets out a dainty, very satisfied. I hope from now on, we can get along well, help each other out, and build our group. I didn't mention anything about a private. Instead, I maintain keeping my since you brought it. I suppose I can reluctantly agree. Though my current strength is a bit lack, my future potential is limited. On good terms with me won't hurt you. Even though she knows I can't hear. Wang still replies in her heart and nods in a. I see, man, she's so. I sigh inwardly, but just then, several auras approach rapidly from senior brother. elder, this should be the forest, right? Counting the time, that spirit treasure has been... These few days should be the time. High in the sky, several people in Taoist robes fly on. Indeed, back then, it was my martial uncle. Where is spirit treasure? It just needed 100 years to mature. So we didn't return. But passing by this forest 2 years, I sensed abundant spiritual. It must be the energy drawn by a middle-aged man leading them strokes his wearing a naturally superior master is rich. It's just a pity grandmother passed away. Otherwise, this could have extended. There are three. The further forward, the older and more powerful. The middle-aged cultivator has an even more formidable lungs, can carry 3 whole people. Let's go and have a look to see how much longer until a flash of regret crosses the leaf, quickly replaced by a steady calm. The giant sword cuts a trail of light through the radiant and exceptionally depth of the 4. Besides the leading elder, the other 3 include an outer and to intersect disciples. They haven't but also to use this to give the disciples a chance to temper themselves. Last time he passed, he sensed the strongest presence was only a rank 5. Well, they might not a rank 5 monster couldn't possibly. By the way, in a month's time, 1,000-year spirit, should we go and participate? Even if we can, we should go and see the power of the geniuses from others. The eldest disciple, with great respect, that I'll secure to spots for you later. You can just go and observe. The geniuses competing are all at the peak of or early pillar-based expert. Your strength is only enough. Just watching the inner sect elder chuckle, not taking it to serious. The sect has true disciples to handle that. They might be strong. Don't lose heart. Though you can't compare to those who are still the backbone of our sect. Only in your early 20s and already at mid-hit. Breaking through to pillar base is becoming an elder is also just a matter of pausing the inner sect elder hearing his disciples down. Thank you, Master. We will certainly cultivate and not let Master down. A flash of joy appears in the 2. They long to see true geniuses. Realizing one's own mediocrity is also a form of progress. All of this falls into my ears. With a Jiao snake's body, my vision and hearing, even from hundreds of meters, I can hear everything. 1,000-year-old spirit herb. I should go snatch one and find out what's going. Clearly, I'm tempted. The spiritual treasure that bound Morong Wang was merely a century old. As for that 1,000-year herb, I can't even imagine how getting my hands on that would be. Morong Wang is still cultivating. I surface alone and land on the concealing my disguising myself as a rank to try and make them. That middle-aged geezer just said they were coming to the. I just need to wait right here. Before I've even waited a few minutes, those for human cultivators have all